Hello, and welcome to another episode of Getting to Know You with my special guest, Sally. This is a show where we get to know some of our favorite people. Hello, Sally. How are you doing?
Good, Rob. How are you?
Very good. How's everybody doing in your family with this whole situation?
We're hanging in there. My kids all have children. My daughter has pre-teenagers, so they're really missing their friends.
I'm sure.
My youngest daughter has a toddler and an infant, so they're in the yard a lot, so they kind of like don't even understand. And my son lives in Alabama, and they just put the pool out,
Nice. That's
so
smart.
they have a place to be.
Yeah, that's good. Do you Zoom chat or anything with them?
Yeah, we have a portal, and we do a lot of FaceTime with those with the kids in Alabama. Usually on Sundays, the girls will call. My middle one down there, Julietta, has dreams that she tells us about,
Nice.
and they're always quite interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's her way of saying, "I need to talk to you about something," but doesn't want to, So it's a dream; it becomes more important.
Right, right. That's funny. Yeah. My niece does that a lot. Calls us up and is like, guess what I thought about? And it's just this like random thing. What are you doing to pass time?
I'm cooking. We're both getting fat. We've been doing the yard. Actually, it's been nice because we've been out in the garden and we have a good sized yard, and we haven't been able to really clean it. Working 5 days a week as we get older, especially. So we've been slowly cleaning it out. The last leaf pickup, I think we had 24 bags. We'll probably have another 24 the next time. But we've been
Wow,
taking down some old bushes, and we had a tree groomed and things that needed to be done in the house. We've been taking the time to do them.
that's awesome.
So
24 bags is a lot.
tell me about it.
Man. Yeah, we've been doing work down at Sarah's house. That's
Yeah.
our way of passing the time. But it's fun doing these Zoom calls, and we've been doing them with our staff, our coworkers, which has
Yeah.
been fun. But so you're a teacher at Bright Horizons. What made you become a teacher?
Um, well, I did daycare years and years ago when my kids were little.
Hmm.
And daycare's changed a lot, let me tell you. And when my youngest went into junior high and high school, and she was starting to babysit after school, I said, you know what? I went to work for the hospital, and they started changing policies there, and I wasn't really happy. And I got a new boss, and I ended up leaving there at 59. I said, I didn't know what to do with myself. My cousin suggested I go back into daycare. And I looked at her and said, who's going to hire me? She goes, you'd be surprised. And I went back into it, and that was the best decision I ever made. I love what I'm doing. I love the babies. I had to learn a lot of things differently. I had to learn that we don't say no, we redirect, and the language has changed. I'm a very different generation, but
That's
at the same time, I bring wisdom and experience, and I keeps me young. I have fun. And
how
that's the
long have you
bottom
been
line.
there?
I've been at Bright Horizons almost 4 years.
Oh, okay,
So, and I had started at a different place before then. So
nice.
I was there for a couple of years. But Bright Horizons is my home, definitely. It's
Yeah.
definitely got the best policies as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely treats its teachers way better than any place I've been at.
Yeah, that's the way I feel about it too. I mean, it's like anytime that something's come up that hasn't been exactly Bright Horizons way, I've been told, I've been coached. I haven't been told it was wrong. It was like,
Mhm.
there's a better way of doing it. And I still learn. And that's one of the reasons I love teaching, is because I learn something every day. And it's either for my peers or for those children that I'm taking care of.
Right.
So you never stop learning. Don't let go of learning, people. It's important.
Very true. What is your favorite part at work in Bright Horizons?
Oh, I think snuggles. Snuggles are definitely the best. I'm a hugger. Not everybody likes hugs. I had to learn that. There's certain people that have virtual hugs, and or just hug in the air, and that's fine. But I think touch, and I think gentleness is really,
Yep.
really important.
Yeah, that's something I think everybody misses right now because you
Yeah.
can't touch or do anything.
I know we did a drive-by to visit the grandchildren up in New Hampshire, and he has an infant. She's about 9, 10 months old, and I'm like going, I want to hold her, and I
Mm.
can't.
Now, every time we talk to my nieces and nephew, they're like, "I want to give you a hug." I'm like, I know.
Yeah, all we can do is send them.
Yeah. Um, what is your goal as a teacher?
Just to enjoy the rest of my working days, I guess. My goal is, I don't have I mean, I'm close to retirement age now, and I just really just think that, I want to do this as long as I can.
Right.
And it keeps me, like I said, it keeps me young, it keeps me moving, it keeps me happy. And my goal is to be happy.
And you're good at passing down your knowledge to us too.
Oh, thank you. Sometimes people sit there and go, wow, where does she come from? Like, live a long time, people.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of in between the two, like like you were talking about not saying no and all that stuff. When I first started, that's how it was, and now it's different. I agree with that. What are some of your hobbies that you do outside of work?
Um, I do Sudoku puzzles. I do like that. I do like to do puzzles. I like to bake.
Hmm.
I like my garden. I like to take walks. I enjoy just people watching when I walk. And now that we have to self-distance our people, but well, I'm friendly with the neighbors and stuff like that.
Yep.
And mostly, do things for the grandchildren. I think that's probably takes up a lot of my time. I don't have real hobbies. I go into fads type of things. I might join a group and do this for a while, and but I've never really been a sewer or a knitter.
Hmm.
But I do like to paint, whether it's a
Oh,
wall or a picture.
I
I'm not
didn't
very
know
good
that.
at any of it. I'm messy, but I
Yeah,
like it.
that's good. I'm not artistic at all. When you go for walks, do you wear a mask or do you do me and my dad call it the weaving in and out?
We do the weaving in and out. We bring on. I usually bring my mask if I know like I'm going to stop. Sometimes I walk down to the post office, or I usually have my mask in my pocket because you try to respect people what
Mhm.
people want. But Steve and I usually just pretty much do the block, go through the park, walk through the park, and keep our 6 foot different, 6 feet apart if we can.
Yep.
So
Yeah, that's how me and my dad, whenever we walk, when we go around the loop, we do the weave in and out. But when you're on Buchanan Bridge, you
yeah,
kind of can't weave. So we
yeah.
make sure we have a mask in our pocket
Well,
just
the
in
cold
case.
weather, I had a turtleneck, so that was easy. You just pull it up here.
Right. Yeah, there's certain, I mean, you don't want to weave in and out when you're on Western Ave.
No, this is true. But
But yeah, so I love the walks though. I mean, it's exercise, but it's good talking to the
yeah.
person you're with and stuff.
Well, now the pond's coming alive too. You're starting to see the swans
Mhm.
back out there, and the loons were back for a little while, and the hawks back out there, and the bunnies have a nest in my neighbor's yard, and I have a duck's nest in my backyard, and so I live close enough to the pond. I'm pretty sure we're going to see the turtles pretty soon too, because they usually
Yeah,
put eggs in the yards. Then we have to redirect them back to the pond because they lose a sense of direction.
somebody posted on Facebook that I think it was Lynn Beach, had their first turtle egg sighting.
Wow,
Yeah,
we have snapping turtles that lay eggs
yeah,
um, up in the shore. I had a new neighbor once, and a turtle had latched on underneath his car, and he was leaving for church, and he went to reach. I said, "You don't want to reach for that one." The
no,
thing probably had a 12-inch shell. It was a big snapping turtle. He goes, "I said, let's get a stick." He goes, "Why?" I said, "Because you won't have a finger."
no. Yeah, they're big and mean.
Yeah. So we got him down to the pond, and he kind of snapped at us when we let him go. But I was like, swans, as beautiful as they are, I've seen them kill a goose, and I've seen
Yeah,
them do some pretty nasty things. They're big birds, and they're very territorial.
yep. Do you have the turkeys walking around you? We do.
Yeah, in fact, we had a young one a couple of years ago, and it was like she was kind of a misfit. She wasn't with the brood,
Hmm.
and I feed the birds all winter, so I took some extra seed and I fed her. And every one day I came out and she's banging on my back door. I'm like, oh, this probably wasn't a good idea, Sal. But we named her Thelma for Steve's
Right.
aunt. So Thelma comes back every year. We see her for a little while, and she leaves again. But I have
Yeah,
seen her again because she had weird markings too. So I haven't seen her this year. So I'm wondering if she made it through another winter.
right. Yeah, we have them every once. We have a long, long driveway. Every once in a while, we see them walk down the driveway and go into the woods here.
Yeah, people got to realize they go after cats too.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
mean.
yeah, they are.
I
Well,
mean,
birds are territorial. People don't, those kind of birds, these are birds of prey.
yeah,
Turkeys, hawks, eagles. We have eagles here too now.
yep, yeah.
Golden eagles, and we have a bald eagle. On Sluice
We
Pond, there's a bald
up
eagle.
up in the Fay States. There's another preschool that I used to work for, and there was turkeys and like coyotes. And
Mhm.
it's funny, like you would think you would be more afraid of the coyotes, but as soon as the coyotes heard the kids running outside, they would take off.
Yeah,
The
coyotes are
turkeys,
basically shy.
the turkeys would stick around and be like, "All right, let's go." And we would be like, "Yeah, you need to come in."
Yeah, let's go now.
Yeah, I mean, and they get big too. They're pretty
Well, yeah,
annoying.
they get to be, oh, you figure how big a turkey is that you get at Thanksgiving, and those are
Yeah,
bred.
yeah, it's huge. All right, we're gonna move on now. Here's our lightning round. So any answers you can think of quickly from these questions, or not quickly, it doesn't matter.
Okay,
Um, what is your favorite color?
green.
Me too. What is your favorite TV show, or some of your favorite TV shows?
I really don't have a favorite TV show. I'll find one that I like and will watch it. I'll watch it. I like a lot of shows that make you think, and I like
Mhm.
doctor shows, and I like some of the criminal shows. But like I said, it depends on my mood.
Okay. What is some of your favorite movies?
Again, I like fantasy. I like Princess Bride. I like Willow. Um, Knight's Tale.
Oh
I'm very
yeah,
much a kid at heart.
Princess Bride is a good movie.
That's like the best movie ever.
Hmm. What is some of your favorite music or artists that you listen to?
Again, depends on my mood.
Hmm.
I played piano when I was younger, and I learned a lot of classical music. I sang all through high school, all through school actually, because singing was a course. And I did a lot of choral stuff. I did show tunes and stuff like that. I used to do the PAL shows. Police Athletic League had a PAL show every year. I was always in the chorus. I was never a soloist. But I like country western. I like the Celtic Women.
Hmm.
We're very big into the Beatles here.
Yeah,
So my husband's a very big Beatles fan. So you kind of, by osmosis, I'm a Beatles fan.
right. Can't go wrong with the Beatles.
No,
Do you still play piano?
no, I wasn't really good at it. I kind of gave it up because I was the wrong age to start it. I was more interested in boys at that point.
Oh, okay.
And but my mother had a piano, and we gave it to some friends when she passed away that we knew that would play it.
Oh, that's good.
So
So it didn't collect dust. It kept being
didn't
played.
collect dust. It needed to be tuned desperately. My mother was deaf, so it didn't sound bad to her at all. But the rest of us, the world was horrified.
Yeah. At least she had fun.
Yeah, she did.
What is some of your favorite foods?
Anything edible?
I was gonna say you enjoy food.
I
Me.
enjoy food immensely. I like Italian. I like Chinese. Like again, I like Mexican. It's my mood.
Yep, that's just like me.
Yeah.
What are your some of your favorite dishes to cook at home?
I make a chicken and rice that my mother-in-law used to make that my husband likes. So I make that. I like to bake. I like more making desserts and pies and that kind of stuff. But anything that some I'd rather cooking. As far as cooking is concerned, I would rather someone tell me what they want
Right.
than have to make a decision. That's like the worst thing in the world is to have to say what we're doing for supper. Tell me what you want for supper. I'll make it for you. That's the way it
Yep.
goes.
I want prime rib and baked potatoes.
Where are we going?
Sounds good to me. I'll take that too. Uh,
Go for a walk.
Okay.
what is some of your favorite desserts?
I like puddings, and one of my favorite puddings is a very old school one. It's called Indian pudding, and
Okay.
basically it's cornmeal that you put in, you boil in milk, And
Mhm.
then you add molasses and you bake it, and it's mealy and it's like a custard, and you serve it warm with either whipped cream or vanilla ice cream.
Mm,
And it's very, very rich, but it's very, very good too,
that
because
sounds
molasses is very sweet.
yeah, that sounds good. Um, do you follow sports at all?
Again, by osmosis, Steve watches the golf and the
Mhm.
Red Sox and all that stuff. I'll sit down and watch a game, but lots of times I'll go do something else if he's watching a game,
Right.
because he yells at the little man in the box, and I keep telling him he doesn't hear
That's
him.
funny. It's kind of if you're not a sports fan, it is kind of funny. Like I'm a huge sports fan, but I know from the outside looking in, it does look funny that we're like yelling at the TV and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's like the man can't hear you. Stop swearing.
Yeah.
But I
Uh,
played sports in high school. I have
yeah.
5 letters from high school.
Really?
Yeah, I played field hockey, basketball, softball, gymnastics. Well, actually have a letter for theater too. They gave letters back then for that.
Wow. Field hockey was pretty big. I mean, my
It
mom played
was,
it too.
yeah. It's a great sport for, it was fun. It was, challenging. When I went to college, I really wanted physical therapy, but physical therapy was a new science. So there weren't college courses offered. So they had me, they directed me to physical education, and
Okay.
then they pushed you towards nursing.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of weird, the way they did it. Now you can be a physical therapist,
Yeah. Yeah, that's a weird transition. Physical ed
Yeah,
to nurse.
yeah. Well, because you had to have the medical end of it.
Right, right,
But like with my physical education, I took anatomy and all the kinesis and all that stuff. I had to take all those sciences.
right. Yeah,
So biology, chemistry, all of that.
that's true. What were from some of your favorite subjects in school?
Math and science and art. I liked art.
Nice. I know math is a really polarized subject. Like you either love it or you hate it.
Yeah.
Like my favorite subject is math.
Well, my daughter's a math teacher,
Yeah,
high school math. So,
yeah. And I think when I did the interview with Jen, her favorite subject was math too.
yeah.
And then a couple of people have said like they absolutely hate math. So
Well, it's funny because I'll say to the parents, like, they want to hone their kids' math skills. They should do puzzles and blocks. And they
mhm,
look at me, I said, because it's spatial, and math is spatial, and people
right,
don't realize that sometimes. So the math and the puzzles and doing those kind of things really do help hone math skills.
right. Yeah, my big thing was math was like with other subjects I kind of had a problem with. Well, I had ADHD when I was a kid. Well, I still do, but um I had a problem with that there was no like definitive answer. So with
Yeah,
math, that there's one answer and that's it.
yeah,
So
exactly.
that's why I liked it.
Now, Erin, my youngest, does she has a lot of kids that have special needs up in the high school up
Mhm.
there. And one of the things that when she was working with fractions, what she did was she brought in cookbooks,
Oh,
because where else would you learn fractions?
right. Yeah.
We're going to double the recipe. We're going to cut the recipe in half.
Yep.
So they learn fractions that way, and they make cookies at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, I had that's one area of math I had a hard time with was fractions. And my dad's a real like Mr. Fix It kind of guy.
Yeah,
So he had me do like measuring and cutting at points and stuff. And that's how he taught me fractions.
yeah. I
So
mean, cooking's the same thing.
yeah,
You have to use fractions,
yep,
but it's a great way to get your kids to learn about half and whole and,
yep.
excuse me, all that.
You really you're not even really thinking about that you're doing math. You're more
Right. It's
thinking about
fun.
the recipe.
Make it fun. You'll learn faster.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. All right, that was the lightning round. Now, two questions to make you think.
Okay.
What do you consider the most important things in life to you?
Kindness.
Hmm.
In that, you're doing the right thing. It's not always easy to do the right thing. But if you do the right thing for you or for the situation, It may not be the right thing for that person that you're dealing with or the situation that you're dealing with, but if it's the right thing for you, you can live with yourself.
Right.
Everybody makes mistakes.
Yep.
And you have to learn to live with those mistakes. And you have to learn with the fact that there are mistakes you can't fix. You learn to live with them. My dad used to say to me, it is what it is.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot.
You do the right thing.
Yep.
And my dad was a really kind, gentle man. And I'd like to think that he's proud of me for that.
Yeah, that's good. Yep, you're definitely very kind. I agree with that.
Thank you.
This question kind of goes along with that, but it's what is your philosophy of life?
Try to see the big picture. Put yourself in someone else's place.
Mm-hmm.
Try to understand. You're not going to do it every time. I don't do it every time. I'm human. I get angry. I get upset.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the hardest thing for me is to let go of the things I've done wrong, to forgive myself.
Right.
And I've done a lot of things that aren't too right,
Mm-hmm.
but I've learned to live with them.
Yeah.
And try to fix things the best I can. Like I said, you have to learn to live with the things that you can't fix, and people are not going to accept the thing that you think is going to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot. Everybody's human.
Right.
Our tiny infants, they're very different from each other.
Yeah.
And embrace that. Embrace the differences.
I like that.
It doesn't always work out well. It doesn't always work the way you plan it. You're going to get upset about it, but do the best you can.
Right. Yeah, I was always told, and I've said this in other videos, but mine was treat others how you would want to be treated.
Golden rule.
That was a big rule in my family.
Yeah.
Because there's people here and there that you might not get along with or whatever, but you can still be friendly or professional and not have a grudge or anything. Because like you said, if you're doing something wrong, what do they call them, like earworms or whatever they call them, but if you're doing something wrong, it like sticks with you and you go over it in your head like, oh, why did I do that?
And what's right for me isn't right for you or the next person. You could, and I've learned to say, can I make a suggestion? Instead of saying, why aren't you doing it this way?
Right.
Try to say, can I make a suggestion? Maybe if you try it this way, it'll work out better. And then sometimes, especially with the children, I learn, oh, that did work. They have a better way.
Yeah.
Like I said, you never stop learning either.
Yeah. The big thing with them is always like, okay, I'll try it your way. But in your head, you're like, I don't think it's going to work, but I'll try it your way and we'll see if it works. And if it works, great. But now let's try it this way.
Yeah. I had raised a very exceptional child. He's very, very bright. And, oh my God, there were days I would think, how am I going to survive this child? Because he thought around me. And I think Joshua taught me to stop and look. Take a breath. Breathe. I think that's my biggest philosophy. Remember to breathe. It's important.
Yeah. That was more me with my parents. Like my two sisters were very good in like educational and stuff, got their degrees and stuff. I was more the one that like kind of took whatever my parents said and was like, why not this way? Or why do I have to do it that way?
You were also the youngest.
Yeah. So
that third child, I'll tell you. Because my two oldest will say to me, you never made Erin do it. I'm like, Erin was a different person and I was a different person. You can remember every child that you kids are all different ages and you learn and as a parent you change.
Yep.
And you have to understand that your children are very, very different.
Yep. Yeah.
And then, and appreciate them for what they are.
Agreed. Well, that's all the questions that I have. Thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me. It was my pleasure.
It. And can't wait to get back and actually give a hug.
Oh, yeah. And believe me, there's going to be a lot of those.
Good. Glad. Well, everybody, thank you for watching, and I hope you subscribe to my channel to check out all the other videos, and have a good day.